What could he have possibly have said that got people so outraged? 2.3 million views. A lot of comments with people very angry, but they can't articulate why. So let's listen. I'm genuinely curious myself.
But if somebody asked me themselves why they're not getting more viewers, then yeah, I would sure do it. Let me link you guys this video. Yeah, I would look like a huge dick if I did that. Some people want themselves. Well, here's the thing, right? You want to know a really, really uncomfortable, shitty truth? Is that if you're ugly, people won't like you. And this is even more true for girls. So if you're really fat or really ugly, it doesn't matter how funny you are, people just aren't going to like you. They don't want to look at you.
Oh my God. How could you have said that? Oh, cancel him. Cancel him. Make sure that he never gets to speak to the public ever again. He says things that are irrefutable, that we cannot deny. You know, it's interesting. Like, if he comes out, if he comes out and says 2 + 2 = 6, no one cares, right? No one goes like, oh my God, that is so false. Oh, he's spreading harmful and dangerous misinformation. Well, they don't do that. Like, if you say something that is blatantly false, you don't have the screechers on the Twitter go like, cancel him. But when you say something that is true, that is when they get upset. So, there was like this question that was asked at a social justice event. You had so many progressives and intellectuals there, right? And they were talking about the systemic oppression in the United States of racist America. And one of the speakers asks, would you rather be a person from a marginalized community, or would you rather be ugly? Overwhelmingly, people said, no, I'd rather be black. I don't want to be ugly. Yeah, because there is truth to this. Now, the American, the left-leaning type, is incapable of understanding general statements. Like, they think that if you say something like this, it applies to everybody. Like, you can't just make a statement that applies to, like, the larger part of a group. No, it must apply to everybody, or else it is not correct, tovarăș. Obviously, there are exceptions. And as you can see here in the comment, Ricky Berwick points out, like, look, I got 14 million views. Sorry, 14 million followers, right? So there are exceptions. There are people who are not beautiful, and they can actually gain a huge following. I mean, Asmongold says it's like, oh, if you're fat. And you have Boogie. They usually have like a type of self-deprecating humor. Like, they make fun of themselves. But yeah, sure, there are certain people that aren't beautiful and they manage to make it. But it's very hard. I mean, come on, you know, it's an uphill battle. It's like saying, you won't succeed pushing a boulder uphill. It's a lot easier to push the boulder downhill. And then you have people on Twitter, oh my God, cancel him. Oh my God, I know this guy. He pushed the boulder up the hill and therefore completely debunks what he said. There is something that's deeply ingrained into the lizard brain that humans have, which make us more attracted towards beautiful people. And you will notice that you can have a person that is very rude, impolite, nasty, but because they're very beautiful and good looking, a lot of people are willing to overlook the situation. Amber Heard. You know? On the opposite end of the spectrum, you do have people that are less beautiful and they get treated differently. You know, like you can have like a very beautiful lady walking up into a bus. There will be people offering their seats. Meanwhile, you can have the same lady when she's middle-aged and she's walking into the bus, and then all of a sudden no one is offering their seats. From her perspective, it's like, oh my gosh, society has changed. No. I mean, look, my channel, right? Myself, moi. If I had like a very strong, manly voice, if I had the voice of Carl Benjamin from the Lotus Eaters, obviously it would help a lot, right? Like, and to pretend that this doesn't count, that this does not help at all, is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I have seen on Twitch certain female streamers that have absolutely no content. I'm not saying this as in like their content is boring. No, they barely say anything. Like the entire stream is going on and they're barely articulating 2 words. But they have a lot of viewers. Can you guess why? But again, we have to pretend that this doesn't happen, right? You cannot notice these things. Like, there is a constant war on noticing. You're not allowed to notice. VTubing. Why is VTubing so popular? Like, what exactly does VTubing offer that is making it to the point where you have women that are using it? They're willing to pay $10,000 for an expensive model. In fact, I would even argue, if looks don't matter, why do some people pay that $10,000 for a model when they can use a $50 model? And the reason is obvious. Looks matter. You know what? Why is it that in commercials you have like all these beautiful women and all these beautiful people and actors? Now you have this cancerous ideology in America that believes that, okay, if we put the most ugly people we can find in video games and commercials, then ugliness becomes beautiful. But in reality, it doesn't. You know, like most of the corporations that do this, and they're trying to put like the most ugly person they can find in their commercial, they do it because they know the commercial doesn't really matter. Like, people buy the product anyway because they're such huge corporations, and the commercial is just like virtue signaling. It's not like buy our product because the commercial looks good. It's create the controversy, get people to talk about the commercial, and buy our product because we're so caring and empathetic and we're trying to change society. But in reality, you look at who the CEO is and what type of women is he dating, and he's not dating the women from the commercial. Interesting, right? And of course, like, you don't have to be beautiful in order to stream or whatever, but it is an advantage. Like, you cannot possibly tell me that if I didn't have like a more masculine voice and I was injected with testosterone and, you know, I look like that Chad guy and I had literally the same content, you cannot tell me that I wouldn't get more views just because of that. I mean, Hassan Piker is a perfect example. Like, he's got a lot of female subscribers that are legitimately saying, it's like, oh my god, he's so beautiful. I don't care about what he says, but he's beautiful. I watch. So, you know, the main problem isn't necessarily this. The main problem is the fact that people find it uncomfortable what Asmongold has said. It's like, he pointed out that the Emperor has no clothes. And it's like, okay, man. You know, life isn't fair. At the end of the day, you just have to try harder and understand there's a limitation. It's like, honestly, it's like saying if you want to play football, you have to be a good runner. And then like, oh, well, I'm not a good runner, but I can still play football by... Okay, you know, like maybe you made it work somehow. Like maybe your strategy, you're collaborating with a teammate so well that like for you, it works somehow. But overwhelmingly, no. Like for most people that want to do that, they have to be a good runner. So anyway, right, let me know what you guys think. Asmongold did nothing wrong, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.